Hey guys, so back to the duels yet again, still in the Era Cobra. So this is going to be one of those long, tactical, silly duels that I promised. So I got a Focke-Wulf 190A1, which is basically an A4. The turns and maneuvers a little better, not that it's relevant in a Focke-Wulf, but it does. It also climbs slightly better, has worse weapons though, and you're going to see that when he completely fails to kill anyone. We're fighting a Zero, who's actually doing a pretty good job of climbing to altitude, and a 109E3 that I don't think gets to shoot at either of this entire match, but he tries really hard, and he actually does a pretty good job. And we're just trying to ram, I guess, and right about then is when our weapons click on. Again, I love it how they have it set up so you can't use your weapons until 30 seconds after the match starts. And that 109, or the Zero could have tried to shoot at me, but he's target fixated on the 190, who does a very good job of throwing away his energy advantage and yet still using his roll rate to keep himself alive despite turning like an idiot constantly. So that 190 actually, there's the 109. So I'm for the most part just trying to go after that Zero. I'm not ignoring the 109, but the 109 keeps turning really hard and throwing his energy away, so I don't really have to worry about him too much. I'm mostly just worried about that Zero. And you can't actually see where the boundaries of the cap point are, but because it's an air cap point, whoops, silly mouse. I hurt my mouse recently and it doesn't like me anymore. But anyway, if all of our team flies out of the cap point, they'll start capping it. It doesn't, like if you have two of them in and one of us in, it'll still consider it neutral. But if all of one team leaves the air cap point area, which is reasonably small, and at least one of the enemy team stays in it, they start capturing it and will win, a lot like if you capture a ground point, being only one. I like it personally. And here's the 109E. He's gonna try and energy fight me. You know, an F-Series 109 absolutely could, but I'm not in an F-Series 109, or he's in an Emil. But I'm gonna dive away. Oops. Oh boy. All the wrong buttons. I'm going to go try and attack the Zero, though, that's still following the Focke-Wulf. I really want to keep that Focke-Wulf alive. If I can kill the Zero, I mean, that's really it. I can easily take the 109. I could have stayed back and fought the 109, who's chasing me, but unable to catch me because I'm faster at this altitude, and I have the energy advantage to get into a longer dive. But I could abandon the Focke-Wulf. I could focus entirely on the 109, but at this point, both of my team have left the cap point. You can see the enemies are starting to cap it. And the 109 very intelligently turns around to go back into the cap point to stay in the cap point and keep capping it. And because the 190 is still being chased by the Zero, the 190 turned back around as well. And at this point, the 190 is actually attacking the Zero. The Zero let him get on his tail. He even got shot by the 190 there, but Zero and 190 turning at sea level, you know what's going to happen. And I can't stop to help him because I have to get back in the cap point to stop the 109 from winning it for them. It actually, when it goes to when they fully cap it, it will, like if one of us get into the air cap circle, it will decap it. So if we do let them fully cap it, it'll start draining our tickets, but it will not actually let them win if one of us gets back in the cap points before all our tickets drain away. And it takes about 30 seconds too. Like you have to not be paying attention at all. But as you can see, it's with both of us in the cap zone, it's decapping it for them. And now I'm just going to focus on the 109. I'm now going back to my tactic of if I kill the 109, even if the 190 gets shot down by the Zero, I can then take it. But the 190 actually did a good job of dragging the Zero right below us again. And I'm not sure if the 190 is doing it on purpose, using himself as bait for the 109 as well. But again, if I can kill the Zero is a really good pilot, despite the 190 getting the best of him in the beginning a little there. That Zero is doing a great job, and Lag is rubber banding him around like crazy. And now, is he going to prop hang? Is he? Yeah, he is. Want to know something funny about prop hangers? They don't prosper when there's a smarty butt like me flying. And I'm saving all my energy. You'll see I'm doing very gentle evasive maneuvers right up until they actually start pointing their guns towards me. I don't want to waste energy flailing around like an asshole when they're not even pointing their guns at me, so I just wait until they are. And I suck at aiming. The 109's pulling up straight away from the 190, so the 190's not in too big of a threat right now. He's still doing an amazing job keeping that Zero at low energy state. And I'm turning back to the cap now, thinking if both of them are going to follow the 190 out of the cap point, I can fly back and cap the point. So now I'm basically forcing the 109 to come back towards me again, while the 109's at a massive energy disadvantage to me, and the Zero also turned back as well. They both turned back to stop me from capping, and now I'm just inside the cap point, flying sideways to them, climbing above them. Again, I'm just keeping them this way, so the 109 or the 190 had the opportunity to turn around and is now coming up behind them. So I love how much tactics actually can play in this, and neither me and the 190 weren't talking at all this entire match. He spoke Russian, and I don't speak Russian. And when I was coming for a head-on, gentle pull-up. Is he going to try and prop hang me? No, he's not. He's not dumb enough to try and prop hang me. He actually turned away from me, which is a very defensive maneuver, which does give me the advantage now, but at the same time, it gives me a bad angle. So again, this 109 is not the best pilot, but he's also at an aircraft disadvantage to me. I definitely have the better plane, and rubber banding around again. Thank you, lag. But this 109 is actually doing a great job of not letting me kill him too easily. Part of that's just I'm such a bad shot, and the Zero is now taking shots at me, but we've outrun him so badly. That poor Zero. So now I'm going to cut underneath the 109 as he tries to turn up, and I pull up before he can even consider getting his guns on me, and now he's going to come up. And if I'm thinking, see that mountain right there? I wonder if I can get him to stall out and fall on the mountain. So I start turning down towards the mountain. And right there, the 190 was finally shot down by the Zero. I mean, a 190 getting chased by a Zero while the 190's throwing all his energy away. And it worked! He crashed into the mountain. And because of the little bit of damage I'd done to him earlier, I get the kill. So now it's me versus the Zero. And we're about at co-energy, and I am not happy with that. I am not fighting a Zero on co-energy. I'm sorry. I am not that brave of a man. So I fly back into the circle. We're both in the circle, so neither of us are capping it. And I'm just going to climb for a little while. Just gonna chill. Just let's fast forward a bit. And this is why I don't think Zeros are all overpowered. People keep screaming about how overpowered the Zero is. Is it? Is it really overpowered? It doesn't look overpowered to me. It looks like he's falling way behind. And because I'm turning like I was, he's cutting to the inside of my turn. He's actually ending up at a lower airspeed than his optimum climb rate. And he could have tried to pull head on there, but he didn't. He's not a head-on scrub, apparently, which is nice. And he used the Zero's amazing turn ability and threw away all of his speed in doing so. So is he going to try and snipe at me? Is he? Is he? They don't have a lot of cannon ammo, and the machine guns do almost nothing. He can't really afford to snipe at me from 0.8 kilometers away. I mean, some people would have, and he may have been able to get me, but this guy's smart enough not to, and this is why I love fighting good players like this Zero, even if I have a better aircraft, and using landing flaps to get as much fire into him as I could. I sacrificed quite a lot of energy there, but I'm in an air cobra. They climb well. Yay. And is he gonna again? Is he gonna again? Is he? And now you can see how slow he is. I'm turning into him, and he's still barely catching me, so I'm gonna go into a hard turn. Zero pilot seeing somebody in a hard turn immediately defaults to I'm going to turn really hard too, and then he realized he didn't have the energy to, so he decided to dive away instead. And this is the point where my opinion on how good he is starts to dip a bit. For all I know, his engine could have been getting ready to go out or something, but well, my engine too was overheated as all hell, so I'm now cruising. So he I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to lure me into a steep dive, and he's trying to get me to crash. Because he does a lot of really close flying to these rocks for the rest of the match. And it's a good tactic. It's one I've used, but I'm very good at not crashing into rocks. Because I look where I'm flying. So I got some 50 caliber hits into him. Gonna zoom, climb up again. He's gonna try and reverse on me, but the energy gap has just gotten way too large. So I can take my time. Plenty of fuel, stuff like 25 minutes. No, seriously, I took 45 minutes for some reason, which I'm going to stop doing. There's no reason to take more than 30 in these matches, even when stuff like this happens. But still, coming in. And see that? See that? And I pull off way early, seeing as I'd rather not crash. Pulling a very gentle turn, and by pulling a gentle turn, I'm still saving that massive energy advantage I have. Again, he's smoking, he's losing oil. I got all day. There's no reason to rush this. Even though with that said, if there was no reason to rush this, I could have done a much better job of setting this one up. This one I come pulling in at a terrible angle, insist on trying anyway. I sacrificed a huge amount of energy there with that combat flap turn. And mountain. But again, I've seen the mountain. I'm well aware of where the mountain is. Nice gentle pull up. Do a nice vertical climb right up the side of the mountain. And I escaped back to altitude yet again. And now this is the part where he has enough energy to try and prop hang me. Is he going to do it? Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. So dodge a little in one way, dodge a little more in that way, and spiral climb. Watching where his guns are pointed, not maneuvering into his guns because at this point he has no ability to aim, so the only way he can hit me is if I literally fly into his guns. And, oh hey, look! I'm on the Zero's tail. Yay! Woo! Squish. So remember, Zeros, they're not overpowered at all. I mean, compared to an P-40, maybe. Compared to the P-38, no. The P-38's much better. Energy fighting! Woo! It's so easy! Yay! Well, it's not easy. But it fits my playstyle so well. I love this plane. Look at it. Look at those big, huge yellow wings. Oh, you just wish you had a lightning bolt on your plane. So there you go, 2-on-1. It was 2-on-2. I'm gonna call that a solid 2-on-2 game. The 190 did a great job while he was alive, and he, yay! I love this so much fun. All right, hey, look at this silly plane. Hey, remember when we thought it was gonna be good? Yeah, it wasn't. So bye everyone. See you in the next goofy little duel I put up. This is what I'm gonna be doing for the next few months.